Hi, good morning, everybody. Joe Van Doren here, and welcome to our Virtues Pick for today. We have a great word, and one that tied right into our word yesterday. And that word today, that virtue that we're going to be looking at and focusing on today, is zeal. Set the camera up a little bit different today, so let's see how you like this. Let's read the description first, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. So zeal is passion for a purpose we deeply value. We follow a vision of what is possible with enthusiasm and ardor. When we are zealous, we give our all. Zeal is fueled by our belief and faith. We do all that we can to serve a cause we believe to be real and true. We need tolerance as the ballast for our zeal when others' beliefs differ from our own. Zeal is the fire in our belly. It illumines even the smallest task with joy. So, we've met a lot of people that are zealous for their, whatever it is that they're zealous about, for their belief, for their faith, for their mission. So we see for their purposefulness, as we talked about yesterday. So zeal is something that is seen with the enthusiasm and the perseverance and steadfastness with anything that we believe in or that we're working on trying to do. And so as I look at this today, I think, the zeal that I have is to accomplish a few things in the next 10, 15, 20 years that I have left here in this life. And so I have to be careful, though, about this. I need to balance it. And when I say that, it's not that I believe that the things that I want to accomplish are not liked or not. They're not things that are not valuable to other people. But I have to be careful not to become so zealous for one thing that I put other important things on the side. And this is demonstrated to me almost on a daily basis, especially when I think about what are the things that I value. And this is the first step in the 4 C's, is clarity. What is it that I value, and how am I showing that? So if I was to go after, the one thing that I would like to accomplish in life more than anything, and I did not give any attention to other important things in my life, i.e. my family, my friends, and maybe a few other things there. But those things are very important, and we value them, and so we want to be careful that we balance it. And so, that's probably the thing that I've been working on the most in my own life and in what I'm working on. So zeal is the thing that being zealous is something that comes when we're enthusiastic and really believe in something, but it has to be balanced for it to so that we can end up in a happy situation, in a joyful situation, in a place where we feel satisfied with our life at the end of our life. And you don't find very many people at the end of their life that said that they had wished that they worked more. Most of the time they wish they had spent more time with their family. And so I want to be zealous about my family and at the same time have some time for those other things that are important to me. So zeal is really important, is an important virtue. And so I'm thinking to myself, how do we teach our kids to balance this zealousness over something? And just as important, how do we teach them to be zealous about an issue or a belief that they have, and at the same time respect the beliefs of others, to respect the things that others are zealous about, so that we give them the same sort of dignity that we give to our own things that we believe. And I think that that is a real critical thing. And so we have to talk about it. We have to demonstrate it that the things that we're zealous for, that we propose to others in a respectful way, and be considerate of what their perspectives are, and consider their perspectives in a whole way so that we can really come to understand. Stephen Covey talked about, understanding first before you seek to be understood. And I think that's one way of demonstrating some balance, and as the description called it, ballast for our own zeal. And so we demonstrate zeal with the way that we work with things. So when we're modeling this for our kids, if we're constantly complaining about our work and the people we have to work with and how we hate our job, this is something that's going to rub off on the kids. And pretty soon they're going to be coming home with, I hate school, which they might anyway come home with. But nonetheless, we don't want to give them the example of doing that. So practicing zeal with balance and ballast, I think, is, just an extraordinary virtue that can bring us joy and can bring us a great enthusiasm about life. But we have to be careful that we also make sure that we know truly what we value, what's most important to us. Let me just make one more thing on this thing on zeal, and that, how do we know what we value? Well, we have to ask ourselves, some what if questions, and and ask ourselves, some questions about, what it is that we respect, and who are some people maybe that we respect, and at the same time see how they've demonstrated their life. What are the virtues that are most important to us, and how are they demonstrated? And how do we demonstrate the values that we have? So if we say that our work is something that we're passionate about, how are we demonstrating that? And how do we as the adult in the room balance that with the other things that we value? So, those are just some thoughts. And I appreciate you being here this morning. What are you zealous about? Everyone knows what I'm zealous about. I think I'm zealous about the 4 C's, about successful families, about parenting, and about just bringing out the best in ourselves first, and then, of course, in our children and those around us. So thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow, where we do another virtues pick and talk about it a little bit. In the meantime, practice zeal by working with joyous energy, and practice all the virtues with the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. All right, everybody, until next time.